Hey, Brian from Garage Mahal. Got a little bit of rain going on here, so if you hear some rain in the background, I apologize ahead of time. But anyway, this is a UYF smart keyless entry door lock, and like you can use this as like a deadbolt for your front door, back door. If you have a closet door that you want to keep secure, a bedroom door that you want to keep secure, this is going to be it. So it uses codes, fingerprints, has backup keys, a key fob, auto lock, one-touch lock, voice prompts, and a little battery alarm. So this pretty much does anything and everything that you want in a deadbolt. So let's open a box. So right away you get the user manual. So there's a lot of information in here. Definitely make sure that you read through and you look at everything. This is going to be like your door template. So you can cut into your door. Actually, that was upside down. I guess it doesn't matter. It depends on your orientation. So give you a quick top view of what that looks like. So that's used to put on your door to line everything up. Then these are your key fobs, and kind of has like that door lock piece that's in there as well. Some different bolts and screws. So your spare keys, your tumbler lock that goes in there. And then your lock itself, and we're going to take everything out, probably put it over here, and then put the some of these box pieces in there as well. Actually, let me put it down here so it's out of the way, so we have a nice clean desktop to look at. And then you have two sides of your lock that comes out. So this is going to be your keypad side that has a key. And then this has the other side of the lock. We'll give you kind of an idea. And then that's going to be the back piece. And depending on the position that you want to start off the lock in, we'll go through that as we install. So we might have to, depending on the orientation, we may have to take this apart like once or twice, but that's part of like doing a whole lock assembly. But that's how it's going to look together. And we're going to go through the directions one by one. So, okay, so measuring the door size. So we're going to like put the deadbolt in, and I do have a door jig that I use on my desktop to make things a little bit easier, so we'll be able to get a better view. So let me set that up now, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is my door jig. Basically, I made it so it can be like on a desktop, so we get a nice view of the top looking down, so you can kind of see like what I'm doing as I go through. And then you got a front view, and then like the side view, you'll be able to kind of get a general idea of how that works. But anyway, let's follow the directions and go through. So step number one is going to be measure the door size. So if we take this little template, we can kind of get a general idea by lining it up what door size it's going to be. And then if you're not 100% sure, what you can do is you can shine a light through this, and that'll give you a really good idea. Let me get my phone out. I usually have a flashlight here somewhere on my desk, but not today. It's too distracted about the rain coming through. But anyway, we'll use that. So you can kind of like line that up, and just by shining a light through, you'll be able to see the hole a lot better, kind of give you a front view of how that looks, to make kind of like a little cheat that I've always used over the years. So by looking at that, so we are set up for that is a 2 3/4 door stop. So let's open this lock up. I'm going to do my best to keep my head out of the overhead, but my big head will probably always get in the way. So if you look at it, you have the 2 3/8, and then you have 2 3/4 here on this. And the only thing you're doing is you're basically turning that to the 2 3/4 mark versus a 2 3/8. And we're going to put this in here, and then see how that fits, and then make sure that's probably about center, which I believe we are about. All right, and it does have a little embossed up on the other side, so you know exactly which way to put that little tumbler in. I call it tumbler, it's the actual deadbolt. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to kind of mock simulate putting this in to kind of see how everything's going to line up. Make sure we are on the right holes. So yeah, so we're lined up pretty good on that. And then this will close pretty easy. Just to kind of give you a quick idea and a look at that. All right, so we know that that's what we're looking for. So we're actually going to put the screws in here, kind of on the loose side, but enough to get it going. Just so we can hold it in place. And we're going to get all the bolts basically out of the bag. So what we're looking for is it's got a couple screws that are loose together. And I am going to get these smaller wood screws, kind of give you an idea, looking at the overhead. All right, now we're going to put these in by hand just to kind of line up the holes. And I have some pre-drilled holes. Now if you're doing this from scratch, obviously use the template to drill some new holes in, especially if you're like you have a you know, like a bedroom door. Like if you have some house guests or anybody you want to keep out of your bedroom, you can put a lock on that. If you have like an office door in your house that you want to set up as a an area that you want to keep secure. So if you have like people working in your house, coming over your house, staying at your house, like whatever, you have some options. Okay, so we have that kind of like basically set up in there. Okay, door, adjust the length of the deadbolt, which we did already, so we'll jump ahead. Install deadbolt, so basically that's what we did already, and everything looks good. Seems like it's lined up pretty well. Okay, now route the IC cable below the deadbolt spindle. And again, the pictures are pretty good in here. So basically what I had just done, we are going to replicate again. And you're going to have this tumbler piece here that's going to be going into that little X hole through there. And then this cable, we're going to have route underneath. And then you're going to line up the two holes. And then basically kind of push it in. And get that situated on there. And then again, it will pull in tighter as we go, but just kind of give you an idea. I think we're actually going to loosen up these deadbolt screws a little bit. Just so we have some movement in here. So it's a little bit loose and everything's not as tight. So that has a chance to kind of like sit a little bit more flush, if you can see from the overhead view. So that's kind of like sitting in there. I'm going to hold on to this little cable. Okay, so that's going through. Then route the cable through this back cover. So just pay attention to orientation there. And then how this dead piece sits here. And then it's got a little slot here on the side. Kind of give you an overhead view. Better look at that. That's where we're going to route the cable through. So we are going to actually put that through. And it is embossed and it says cable hole on there, so kind of hard not to get that correct. But and then we're going to have these longer bolts here that we are going to make sure I'm not jumping ahead. Okay, we got the cable through, kind of holding that, and then we have these two bolts, and one at a time. They're the longer ones, and we're going to kind of, it's a little difficult to do, but we're going to pull out a little bit. And if you can see from the top view what I'm doing, I'm kind of lining up that screw. And I'm just giving it a quick little twirl with each finger to get a couple threads on there. And the rain is getting a little more powerful. I apologize ahead of time. No way I can control that. And we are just trying to get this video done so you can get your door installed. Okay, so that is your back plate. So what we are going to do now is basically with the screwdriver, we are going to tighten that down. And a little out of focus, but let me get this drawn in here a little bit more so you can see what we're doing. And I think I'm going to actually do this by hand. So they seem kind of loose. We use the screwdriver to kind of tighten everything up a little bit. And I think we're there. And I'm just going to move this out of the way so make this a little tighter. Okay, I think we're just about there, tightening on that side. Okay, good. We're just gonna, again, make it on the looser side. And let me see if I can't just get this a little bit better. I'm just trying to get the screw down. Okay, there we go. And then we'll just make it snug, not super tight right now. And then now we're going to tighten up the deadbolt a little bit more. And then see what I'm doing? I'm just moving it with my finger. So you want to make sure that that moves pretty easy back and forth before we go with the rest of the install. So we fixed the mounting plate. Next, we are going to be connecting the deadbolt, the whole mechanism, and then we want to make sure that that is on the open side, and depending on the orientation. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hooking this wire up. So it kind of goes like this, and it's kind of hard to see from the overhead view, but that is what we're looking for. And we are going to mount that wire. It's got kind of a strange hook to it, but you can kind of like see. And then it kind of like goes into place almost by itself. And then you want to push down until you hear a click. So from the overhead view, you can kind of see that a little bit better. And then you're going to be pushing this wire through. And then you're going to be lining up this little tab on the door. And then that's going to basically sit on the door like that. And let's take this battery compartment off. And now you're going to have two screws on the inside of either battery plate. Let me get the overhead view so you can see where I'm pointing a little bit better. So on either side, you're going to have these two screws. So they are the smaller ones. And you got to kind of want to, again, peek in on the side, get your screwdriver ready. And then you kind of match it up. Just get a couple threads, you'll kind of feel it grab. And then again on the other side, we're going to put that other bolt in. And you take a little peek around the corner. Okay, now we line that up. Then we can put the screwdriver in that screw. All right, now we got a couple threads in. Now I can move the door back, get a little better grip. And let me bring that back in the camera view, for the up view, so you can see exactly where I'm at. Okay, so that's nice and tight. So again, now on the inside, we can try the deadbolt, and you can see how that's easily coming in and out. So that's a good thing there. Then line up with our door. And let me adjust, you might have to adjust your inside plate for your deadbolt. Okay, so we're just going to close the door and just like line up the deadbolt. Make sure that that's going to close nice and easy, which it does. So we're going to go back open, and then it's going to be a fixed plate with the two screws. We did that, we ran the cable through. So jumping on to fixed interior lock. So we're going to set that up. We have all the screws basically in place. So that's nice and steady. Install 4 AA batteries. So I have 4 AA batteries right here. I like using the Amazon basic ones. They seem like they work the best and last the longest for these types of locks. And as I look through, batteries are not included. So let's get them out and ready. And again, so you're going to have, it's all marked pretty well on how you're going to install all this. And then, so that's good there. And I heard a little chirp letting us know that that is active. So we're going to put the lid back on. And then it has a little power button at the bottom that we're going to press. All right, so that's good. Next, we're going to test the keys out, make sure that the keys work. So that's good. So it's basically, I guess, letting us know that we are locked. And take the key out. Obviously that is locked. Put the key in. And we unlock it. So that's good. So it's kind of like a little bit of an alarm. So if you're sleeping somewhere and you got this lock on, you know when somebody's coming in. Okay. So detect left and right hand door. That's kind of like the next part, which we've already done. How to reset the lock. Take down one battery, wait for 5 seconds, put the battery back in. So that's pretty neat. How to use. So your lock is now installed. Let's learn how to use it. So we rotated it to the tumbler and then unlock the door from the outside. Hold the pound key for 2 seconds. So let's try that. Hold the pound key. So that's cool. So that locked. And it said locked. That was pretty neat. I didn't expect that to actually be talking to us. In auto lock mode, the bolt will extend out automatically. Lock physically with keys. Lock the door from the inside. Blah. Okay, now let's start to use. So it's a quick guide. Press star and pound on the keypad. Go to the voice navigation menu and set a the 9-digit administration PIN code and press the hash key to confirm. All right, so let's try that.
Set a 4 to 9 digits administrator passcode. Press hash key to confirm.
Okay, so we're going to set the code.
Please input again. Press.
So we're just entering 1, 2, 3, 4.
Administrator added successfully. Press 1 to manage passcode. Press 2 to manage card. Press 3 to manage fingerprint. Press 5 to go settings. Or press start key. Return to previous menu. Press 1 to add a card. Press 2 to delete card.
So we're going to add a card. So basically option 2.
Please swipe your card. Input successful.
Okay,
Press
so
1 to add a card. Press 2 to please swipe your card. Input successful.
okay, so basically,
Press 1 to add a card.
so basically,
To delete card.
we just swiped each key fob. So we're done.
Press 1 to manage passcode.
All right, so we're basically done. So to check the key fob,
Unlocked.
and you heard it say unlocked, so that was like pretty cool. And then we can lock it again. So just hold that and then it will lock it. So that's pretty cool. Key fob unlocks it. I mean, it was really easy to program that. And then we just hold this down to lock it again. And then that's locked. Okay, so we basically did the keypad, we did the key fob. Now, so it's going to basically go through like a bunch of different ideas, what to go through. Okay, so add fingerprint. So we're going to be basically inputting the star and a pound sign, add the administrative passcode, and then we're going to go to 3 to add a fingerprint. So
Please input administrator's passcode.
So we're gonna
press hash key to confirm. Press 1 to manage passcode. Press 2 to manage card.
That's 2.
Press 3 to manage fingerprint. Press 1 to add a fingerprint. Press 2 to delete fingerprint.
Okay. Oh, also make sure you take this little keypad protectant screen off. So we're going to hit 1 to add a.
Press your finger on the sensor.
Now, depending on how you are, you can set up like.
Please press again. Please press again.
So-
Please press again.
So a couple different angles.
Successful. Press 1 to add a fingerprint.
Okay, so we're
Press
done.
1 to manage passcode.
So let's go out, and now we can enter a fingerprint.
Unlocked.
So, boom, that was pretty easy. And then again, just swipe the keypad, hold the pound. I always forget that part, like you gotta hold the pound to make sure that it like locks. And then again, your thumbprint. Super easy to program this. I'm like really impressed. And then again, swipe to, so swipe to make sure you make the keypad wake up.
Operation failed. Locked.
So that locks, and then again, your key fobs.
Unlocked.
That's great. So if your hand's full or something like that, you can get your key fob out and be able to unlock that. And then again with your keys, so, and that locks your door, keys out, unlock.
Unlocked.
What an easy lock to install and to program and to use. Absolutely great. Anyway, Brian from Garage Hall, thanks for watching, and your smart lock. Easy to install. Be safe out there.